Hi everyone, I'm Steve. Today I'm joined by Chris Eldridge. Chris is the founder and chairman of For Impact. Before we kick off, Chris, this is all about having a conversation over a coffee. We're used to doing that, you and I. What do you look for in a good coffee?
Well, for me, it's about a caffeine hit. I don't want any milk. I don't want any sugar. I just want it as a black coffee. Less is more. I don't want too much water. I look for the caffeine hit to get me going.
Excellent. And look, I'd endorse that view. I do like the milk. I like a latte and don't mind the double shot on occasion as well. In fact, I've got a double shot this afternoon. But look, thanks very much for joining us, Chris. Perhaps to start off, if you could tell us a little bit about Chris Eldridge. Tell us a little bit about you.
Sure. Well, I'm an engineer by training. Did a degree in electronics and computer systems, so it gave me a little bit of the hardware, a little bit of the software, and my career has taken various paths. Came to Queensland about 25 years ago and fell in love with the place. Gave me some great opportunities. I've built a life here. I've got kids, family, and and then for my sins, I started a business in 2005 called For Impact.
Excellent. And great segue. Can you tell us a little bit about For Impact? Tell us a bit about your business.
Sure. Well, For Impact is a technology services business, but fundamentally for us, it's about putting the humans in technology. There's a lot of stuff, and people are worried about technology and what it will do. For us, it's about the technology serving humans, not the other way around. So we've built a business, serving enterprise clients around helping them with their systems, their processes, that are all about making them more efficient, whilst recognising that people are at the core of it.
Yeah, very good. So having said all of that, and in terms of all of our businesses, we're undergoing some fairly fundamental, challenges and strains at the moment. I'd love to explore, if you wouldn't mind, some of the challenges that you've seen, that you're experiencing at the moment in our current environment, our current circumstances.
Yeah, it's been really interesting. We were lucky in some ways. We did, over the last couple of years, we did some business continuity planning, and we've actually got staff in Australia, we've got staff in New Zealand, we've got staff in the Philippines, and staff in Papua New Guinea, in Port Moresby. And so we've been doing that planning about how would we manage that in some sort of crisis, but we were thinking typhoon, cyclone, and what have you. Pandemic wasn't quite on the agenda. We tested a few scenarios. But what we actually did, probably about a week ahead of the general public, is that we pulled everyone off site to test that the systems would work in preparation, and everything worked for us with a couple of tweaks. So we didn't bring people back to work because we were concerned about what that would mean. So we ran a little bit ahead of the pack. And I guess what we've seen is we think there's probably about three phases that businesses are going through. The first one is when the call came, is get people off site, get them working remotely, enable them to do their job. And for some businesses, that was easier than others. And the second phase is really, okay, look at your business and go, where are we? How are we going to cope with this? Because none of us can see the end. None of us quite know when this is going to come out. And so, that's about what's core, what's not core, what should we focus on and what shouldn't we? And the third phase, which businesses aren't quite at yet, is, okay, what comes out of this? What are the opportunities? What do we do next? And I guess for us as a business, we got the first one a little bit ahead of the place. We've done a bunch of work, and so we kind of know where we are, and we know what levers need to be pulled at the right times. And so we're sort of starting to look to the future and the opportunities that come out of this. But what we're seeing is that not everyone's ready for that, and that's a challenge, because we've got to keep doing what we do, and you can't push people. You've got to be respectful of where they are in that journey.
Yeah, look, I'm really glad you used the word opportunities then, and I might just latch on to that. It's a horrible thing, there's no doubt about it, being involved in a pandemic, and none of us could have guessed that we'd be here just a few short months ago. But I think when we have challenges, the corollary of that is there are opportunities, and they sometimes come from left field. Can you share with us some of those opportunities, if you've seen them, that have arisen to date?
Yeah, and I agree with you, Steve. It's tragic what's happened, and none of us expected it, but it's happened, and so we have to deal with it. We actually see huge opportunities out of this, and this is really what we're trying to be prepared for as it comes, as we go around the corner, as it were. But fundamentally, we see the opportunities are going to come because business is not going to be the same. People aren't going to do it. There will be more remote working. What does that do to opportunities around the communities and the suburbs? What does that do in terms of transportation, commercial property in the cities? Because workplaces aren't necessarily going to be all about work anymore. You're going to be, how do you bring people together? How do you meet? How do you collaborate? And so I think businesses, as they come back, if they expect it to be like it was, they shouldn't. They should be planning and saying, well, how do we need to transform our business? Because this has accelerated so many things that people said couldn't be done, such as people working from home remotely, telehealth, those types of things are now just going to be part of the norm. So how can we all take advantage of that to change the way we do business, digitize this, digitize that? And to go back to the purpose of our company, it's about the humans. How does that technology serve the humans, but optimize it and make it more efficient so we can focus on the right things? So those are some of the opportunities we see, and we think they're huge across business, government, private, logistics. Who knows what will happen around travel and transportation, things like that. That those may have been fundamentally changed, but in that there'll be new ways of doing things.
Thanks, Chris. Look, some really valuable insights there, I think, and really appreciate your time as always. Love catching up over a coffee, and no doubt we'll do it again. Sitting across opposite sides of the table rather than in a virtual sense before too long, hopefully. So look, thanks again. Hopefully you've all heard something. You may have picked up a little gem from what Chris has been telling us today. Thanks everyone for joining us, and once again, thank you very much, Chris, for your time as well, and catch up soon. Stay safe.
Thanks, Steve. Pleasure to be here.